Hello, friends. Welcome to WindDrift 7953. Today we have a beautiful flight from San Andrés to Liberia in Costa Rica. Very beautiful departure out of San Andrés and an amazing arrival into windy Liberia, Costa Rica. Right, let's redo again our quick. This is the second time I'm doing a pre-flight, just making sure the plane looks like an airplane and it really wants to fly. I'm looking for something that tells me, hey, I don't think it's a good idea to go flying today. But so far, so good. Everybody's on board already. And looking forward to arriving to Costa Rica. All right, go ahead and remove the chocks, and we can go ahead and close the door. Very nice. Beautiful. Excellent. Very nice. Before we actually start up the airplane, let's review real quick what we have. Beautiful airports in Latin America, small airports, remote airports, and we pretty much focus on private charter flights. And very happy. We're happy to do this. All right, so let's go ahead and review our dispatch information. So today is we're flying the WindDrift 7953, and we are flying the November 44 Golf Bravo. It is an Epic E1000 with a Pratt & Whitney 6A67 Alpha engine, turboprop, departing at 21:05, arriving 22:31. We are going to fly around 272 nautical miles, ground miles, and 256 air distance total of nautical miles. The wind, the average would be 0.81 at 16. Okay, so, and we should be burning around 406 pounds of fuel an hour. All right, flight level 240 for today's flight, which is perfect for this airplane. And we do have a total of 1,233 pounds of fuel in the airport. So the dispatcher has made all the calculations, and this is what we need, including our alternate. If we need to go to, by the way, if we go to, that'll be beautiful. That'll be San Jose, Costa Rica. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Let's see what we have here. Our route today will be departing runway 06 via the Durham 3 Bravo Durham transition departure, direct Bluefields, and direct Liberia, and an approach into runway 07. Perfect. All right, let's see what we have in reference to the weather. Well, first of all, let's do this. Takeoff data again is a Pratt & Whitney 6A, right? 67A turboprop. Departing runway 06, temperature 29, wind 074 at 12, QNH 1011, and we're using maximum takeoff weight of 8,000 pounds. Therefore, we're gonna be using flaps 15. Maximum temperature is 44. So temperature is 29, so we should be okay. Now, V1 and VR and VX, these speeds are not gonna be these speeds. They're probably gonna be more than that. I would say around 95, 98, maybe 100, depending. But anyway, so runway, departing runway 06, we have 7,792 feet of runway, which is perfect. And the calculations for today is with a dry runway and with winds, calm winds for runway 06. Okay, perfecto, perfecto. Okay, landing data. We're gonna be landing at Liberia at runway 07. Temperature is gonna be 32 degrees and the winds 092 at 10, altimeter 2977, and using pretty much full flaps or 40 degrees of flap. Okay, runway 7 is 9,000 feet of runway. That's amazing. And we should be pretty much shooting the ILS to runway 07 on 111.3. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, weather. Okay, friends. All right, how are we gonna do this? There's a lot of information here. Okay, so first let's review the significant weather along the route. Okay, so there are no airmets, as you can see, which is okay, good. However, there are two active segments. You have two active segments for embedded thunderstorms in the Central American flight information region. Okay, so we have segments here also. And yes, embedded thunderstorms. Okay, now it is valid from 2140 Zulu until 0140. Okay, which is right here. Perfect. And what else? So the embedded thunderstorms were observed within a large area over the Eastern Pacific and parts of Central America. So you can see all these. It's a lot of area covering the thunderstorms. So, which means the storm tops are reaching approximately, I would say, according to this, the thunderstorms have tops reaching flight level 540. Wow. Okay, so that means the storm tops are reaching approximately 54,000 feet. Okay, so we're gonna be flying at flight level 240. So now this system is reported as stationary with no significant change expected. Okay, stationary, no change, as you can see there. All right, the second thunderstorm right there is valid from 2150 Zulu to 0150 Zulu. Okay, and again, it's embedded thunderstorms over the Eastern Pacific, right? It's pretty much, and to flight level 500, 50,000. Okay, so now again, these thunderstorms are also stationary, so there's no significant change reported. Now there's no tropical cyclone segments. Now, for this flight, my friends, the main concern will be avoiding any convective cells along or near the route. Okay, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. And you know, these storms, like even though the conditions at the airports are generally good, thunderstorms may still require deviations during the flight. So it happens to us the other day when we were actually flying into San Andrés. Like 90% of the flight, I would say even 98% of the flight, we have to we were pretty much flying in the rain. So all right, like I said, there are no tropical cyclone segments reported. Okay, but we have a beautiful, beautiful volcanic ash in reference to the Santa Maria volcano. Okay, and this activity is well north of our planned route between San Andrés and Liberia, so shouldn't directly affect today's flight, but it is still important to remain aware of it. Okay, now let's review our departure out of Gustavo Rojas Pinilla Airport. The wind is going to be 050 at 12 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, and we have a few clouds at 3,000 feet. Temperature 29, 2.26. As you can see, it's very close, so there is going to be some sort of moisture there. And the QNH is 1011. Okay. Yeah, so it's very humid in San Andres, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, visibility is good. Visibility remains good, and only a few clouds are reported. So the departure forecast, it is from basically 18 Zulu, 1800 Zulu until 2400 Zulu. So it's good. Okay. Let's see what we have. So according to the forecast, we're gonna have a wind 070 at 12 knots, visibility greater than 10, scattered clouds 3,000. Okay. So this is something that we also need to keep an eye on that. Okay. The forecast maximum temperature here is going to be 31 degrees Celsius, around I would say 17 Zulu. Yes, that's what it says there. Okay. And the minimum temperature would be 28. Wow. At around 10:00 Zulu. Perfect. Now let's review the destination at Liberia. Daniel Oduber Quirós International Airport. The wind is going to be at 080 at 22. Gusting 33. It's going to be a gusty approach into Liberia. Okay. The airport is reporting Kavak conditions. By the way, Kavak means visibility is 10 kilometers or greater. Okay. I know you guys know this. And there are no significant clouds below 5,000 feet. Right? Let's see, temperature is 32 degrees and 2.22, and the altimeter is 2977. Right? Now, as I said, the main concern at Liberia is this strong easterly wind that we're going to be facing on our approach into most likely runway 07. Okay, the forecast wind is from 090 at 18 knots, again greater than 10 kilometers, few clouds at 4,000. Okay, and visibility again is it's okay, and the maximum temperature would be 36 at 1900 Zulu, and the minimum will be 24 at 1100 Zulu. Okay, so now take a look at this. I think this is in reference to gusty winds here. We see 20 to 30 knots gusting, right, at 1800 Zulu to 2400 Zulu. So definitely, you know, we should expect the possibility of mechanical turbulence near the airport. So, all right, so we're gonna try to do the best we can so we can bring comfort to our passengers. By the way, we're carrying 4 passengers today, and we do the best we can. All right, our alternate would be Juan Santa Maria International, which is in San Jose, and San Jose is reporting wind 080 at 12 knots, variable 060 to 120, so it's a little bit of all over the place. Okay. And visibility is very good, and some clouds at 3,000 and broken at 18,000. And we have there temperature 26, dew point 19, and the altimeter is 2996. Okay. What else we have? I think that's it, my friends. I just wanted to, inform you of what we are going to expect today. It's definitely going to be a little stormy, a little windy on arrival, but nothing to be concerned about. Fantastic. All right. So, all right, let's show this. This is interesting. I like to show the actual route. So we're going to be departing the beautiful island of San Andrés, okay, on our way to essentially west to Bluefields. Bluefields is in Nicaragua. And then we are going to go pretty much southwest down to Liberia airport. Right? An interesting fact, friends, is that if you see here, San Andres belongs to Colombia, which is around here. Right? So look at the distance, okay? Fascinating, eh? There's a lot of history about this, and we'll talk about that during the flight because I think it's important to know what's going on there. All right, without any further delay. Oh, also important, right? So we are gonna be departing via the Durham 3 Bravo departure, and essentially we're gonna depart runway 06. We're gonna make a left turn at 1,500 or more. We make a left turn, and then we are essentially join the radial 257 out of the San Andres VOR all the way to Durham. So from the VOR to Durham is about 60 nautical miles. And at Durham we should be, I think we're going to be departing, I guess initial climb 4,000, and eventually we're going to go to 18,000 and then 24,000. Transition altitude, yep, 18,000. See it right there. Okay, friends. So runway 6, essentially we're going to taxi probably via Bravo and taxi all the way to runway 6, sort of like a taxi back type of thing, and we're going to depart runway 6 via the Durham 3 Bravo departure. Fantastic. I think that's pretty clear, right? So let's go ahead and start up the plane. Local time 16:24. We're a little bit behind on schedule, but we're probably gonna make up in the air. All right, pre-flight cockpit. Okay, part brake set. Very good. Flags and wheel chocks are removed. Condition lever is down. Very good. Switches are off and neutral. Battery switches 1 and 2 are on. Beautiful. Flaps are down. Perfect. Flaps are right there, guys. Right there. Okay. All right, lights. We're gonna bring the beacon light is on. Just to start. Fuel, we have fuel is check. We have 1,200 pounds of fuel. And battery switches, again, on and off. Very good. Off, off. All right, before startup, power up, fuel selector, we're gonna select, usually I like to start with the right tank, which I believe it's already there. Yep, right tank is selected. All right, power level idle, out of beta, of course. Perfect. And then prep lever feather, beautiful. Condition lever cut off, that's perfect. Landing gear is down, perfect. All switches are off. Battery switches, battery 1 and battery 2 are on. Right, ELT is automatically armed, and flaps are up. All right, so we have battery voltage, we have 29, I believe, 28, very good, 28, excellent. Right, strobe lights are on. Okay, fuel pump, that will be the right fuel pump. We have fuel pressure coming up, very good. Right, switch selector, switch the tank, very nice. And then lead fuel pump is good, pressure is coming up as well, perfect, fantastic. All right, starter, we are going to go ahead and bring the starter generator one time. Sounds awesome. And bring the start, the pressure coming up, and engines coming up, and about 15%. Bring fuel forward and click on igniter and enjoy this startup, my friends. Beautiful. Right, let's go ahead and remove the GPU. We don't need that anymore. Fantastic, and continue with the startup process. I'm gonna bring pedestal heater is on, pilot selector is on, pusher system is on, cabin pressure on, autopilot system on, trim is on. Very nice. And continue with our avionics master, bringing it on. Coming to our MFD. Good. Perfect. All right, ground steady idle. It's around 68. ITT is stable. We have good voltage. Good. All right. Oil pressure is perfect. And oil temperature is even better. All right, since we are not using real ATC, there is no bad SIM at this time. Unfortunately, there is not much bad SIM service at all in this region. And there is another application that I used to use, and I don't use it anymore because I don't think it works. Controls, incorrect, and it is the intentions AI. Doesn't work at all. Nope. I paid 6 months subscription and I don't use it anymore. But anyway, all right, so we are going to contact 80s, which probably we're not gonna get. 80s is 12780 on com 12780. All right. See, but we do have the weather from our reports, and right now altimeter is 2988. 2988 on the altimeter. Very nice. We can do the same thing on our backup. 2988. Beautiful. Right. So let's work on our flight plan. All right, friends. So we are parting. This comes from MFD right here. All right, select flight plan. That's our departing airport. That's San Andrés, and we are going to our airport in Liberia, which is Mike Romeo Lima Bravo. Beautiful. Select enter, and we are going to select procedure, and we are doing the departure procedure, and we are doing the Durham 3 Bravo. Right there. Okay, enter. I'm gonna load that up. Very good. And then we continue after after Durham, we are gonna go to Bluefields, which is Bravo Lima uniform. That's in Nicaragua. It's a beautiful beach town, by the way. And then we are gonna go to procedure here, and we're gonna select the arrival, and we're gonna do the OVAT 1 Sierra right there, and we're gonna enter here, and that's runway 07. We're gonna load that up, and there we have it, my friends. Okay, click on our flight plan just to verify everything looks good. That's our departing airport. We're departing runway 06. We're gonna climb to 1500, make a left turn, right? And we go to Durham, and then we continue to Bluefields in Nicaragua. And we're gonna remove this because we already have it at the end. And then we're gonna start the approach. So from Bluefield, we're gonna go to Oviedo, which is the approach, the arrival, and then to Imola, continue to KP, and Liberia 709, and then we're gonna go to Duku, Matum, and then the airport. Right, so we're gonna just select these altitudes, these altitude constraints. Very nice. Perfect. Great. Most likely we're gonna be shooting the ILS runway 07, but we'll see as we get closer to the airport. Excellent. Very good. All right, let's contact tower on 118.1, and we're gonna ask tower to give us the taxi clearance to runway 06. San Andrés Tower, good afternoon. WindDrift 7953 at the FBO, requesting taxi to the active. Okay. We're gonna taxi to runway 06 via Bravo. Right, clear left, clear right, everything is good. And go ahead and release the brakes. Testing left brake is good. Testing right brake is good. 2 brakes, perfect. All right, so let's continue to Bravo taxiway. Right, clear left, clear right, continue. Let's bring a little bit of a beta. right? And taxi lights are on, and nav lights are on. Excellent. All right, I got lost for a second. Okay. All right, we're clear to enter the runway. Nice. All right, as you can see, there's an airplane landing because I'm using real traffic, and real traffic can't really see us. So we're just going to close our eyes and hope for the best. No, we just can ignore that. Right, so we're taxiing to let's see, it's runway 6, very nice. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Flaps 15. It's very cute. You have the little neighborhoods here close to the airport. Right, enter our timer. Let's select our transponder on 3224. Perfect. All right, local time 1640. And let's go. Brakes on hold, flight controls free and correct. Very nice. Power level advanced to 1500. NP, very nice. 1600. Throttle level. Very good. Okay. Landing lights, taxi lights are off, landing lights are on. All right. Let's go, friends. Torque coming up. Let's go. Spirit alive. V1 rotate. Beautiful. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Do initial climb of 4000. All right, looking for 1500 before we make our left turn. 1500, we can start making our left turn. We have the VR already turned in, 113.3. We'll continue to Durham. Nice. Continue to flight level 180. Autopilot, let's select the heading, vertical speed, very nice, 190, flaps up. Bye bye, San Andrés. Thanks for your hospitality. It's been great. Right climb check, landing gear is up, flaps check, igniter will be off, check, power as required. We're doing torque 80%, NP 1700. Let's just bring the NG to about 97, 96 is good, so we can reduce the oil temperature a little bit. Typically we want the oil temperature between 100 and 110. It's 114, so it's a little hot. And it's gonna start reducing temperature right now. So voltage is good. All the fuels tanks are also working great. 10,000 for 18,000. All right, let's go to Durham now. MFD, select right enter, and let's go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful departure out of San Andrés. Landing lights are off. Our friends, there we are on our way to Durham. And once we cross Durham, we're gonna cross Durham at flight level 180. And once we do that, we're gonna continue to Blue Fields. This is Nicaragua. Then we are gonna be on the airway and descend via the Obat 1 Sierra transition Ovado arrival, Imola, Cape, and then we are going to shoot definitely the ILS runway 07 approach into Liberia. I don't know, sometimes I say Liberia, sometimes I say Liberia. It is the same. Interesting, this is Lake Nicaragua. There is a, oh wow, there is an airport in the middle of the lake. Huh, that's fascinating. But anyway, so this is the route. We continue. We are right now currently 16,000 for 18,000. Our oil temperature is still a little high, so let's see if I can reduce the NG to 95 maybe. There you go. We're 36 miles from Durham. Another interesting fact, my friends, is that we are going to be crossing over the Corn Islands. We're gonna see these islands, and there is a private airport there. I wonder who lives there. Corn Island. So amazing. So amazing. Right? Corn Island. All right. We are flight level 180. We're at 32 miles from Durham. All right, our oil temperature is coming down, which is good. It's at 102 now, 101. Love it. Very good. We wanted this, you know, at 100. But everything is perfect. Torque is at 44, 45%. MP at 1700 RPM, which is okay. The ITT is between 700 and 900, and it's stable. And our NG is at 96%. We're using about 63.3 gallons per hour, right? But let's see, we're gonna engine here. Our flow pounds per hour 424, and according to our dispatch information, it was gonna be 406. Remember? So it's okay. We're doing good. Nothing to be concerned about. Outside temperature 21 degrees, and we are 26 miles from Durham. Okay, so the Corn Islands, I'm reading here out of the, I Google it, and so the Corn Islands are a pair of untouched Caribbean paradises off the coast of Nicaragua, consisting of Big Corn Island and Little Corn Island, known for pristine white sand beaches, vibrant coral reefs, and incredible fresh seafood. Wow. They offer a laid-back, budget-friendly escape completely devoid of cars and mass commercialization. Oh my god, I want to go there. Take a look at this, guys. Let me see these images here. Oh my goodness. It's like paradise. Look at this. Let me show you this, guys. Corn Island. Huh. Love it. So beautiful. I want to go there. Wow. That's magnificent. This is right here, Corn Islands. Let's see if we can see them. But we should be, let me see where we are right now. Yeah, we should be able to see them soon. Let's go back here. Not yet. Beautiful, eh? Around 11 miles from Durham. I think we should start climbing up to flight level 240. What do you think, guys? Which is our cruise altitude. Vertical speed. Let's do a nice 1800 feet per minute climb. And then we're gonna go to Bluefields. Let's see what we know about Bluefields. I like that. This is also in Nicaragua. Bluefields most commonly refers to the iconic overworld theme from, oh no, I'm reading some. They probably used that for a movie, but hold on a second. Sorry about that. What is okay? All right. So, Bluefields. This is Wikipedia. Bluefields is a city and municipality on the central Mosquito Coast and capital of the South Caribbean Coast Autonomous Region, Nicaragua. Historically, it held far greater significance as the political and administrative capital of the Kingdom of Mosquitia, which maintained independence and later protectorate status under Great Britain during the 17th to 19th centuries. Huh. Okay. Show me pictures. For pictures. Yeah, of course. Let's see. Oh wow, very nice. Not as nice as the other one. Let me show you this, guys. So let me show you this. This is interesting. I'd like to show you this first. So that is the map of, as you can see, Nicaragua. So we have Puerto Cabezas, and then we have Corn Islands right there. Let me see. To your right, it's right here, and then Bluefields. Amazing. And this is Lake Nicaragua right there. Fascinating, guys. Fascinating stuff. Let's see if there's another picture there. I love doing this. So Bluefields. See another picture here. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. I found this picture, but I don't like it. Block. Okay. Let's see this one. I want to show you a nice picture, guys. Sorry. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. Let's Seems to be like cool. Take a look at this. Not bad. That's Bluefields. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right, let's see if we can spot Corn Islands. Not yet. Oh, there they are. There they are, friends. Corn Island, and there's the airport. There is the big one, and there is the little one. There is a little one. There it is. That's a small Corn Island. And this is the big Corn Island. Wow. How about that, friends? For like a weekend there. No. 1 week. Just 1 week. Alright, so we should be now going towards Bluefields. We're about 42 miles from Bluefields. Right, so the next point will be Oviedo, and we should be at 18,000 at Oviedo. So we can go ahead and set our altimeter to 18,000. And select VNAV. Good, everything is good. All our numbers are perfect. 44, 1700 and stable. IDT super good, 98%, and oil pressure 115, and oil temperature is at 91. Magnifico. Right? Let's book our heading. Good. Okay. What's interesting also is that we're gonna fly over Lake Nicaragua, and we're gonna see that because we're gonna be descending to Oviedo. So it should be, it's gonna be between 24,000 and 18,000. And it's also there is an airport there too. Alright, let's open our iPad here. So we have so essentially we're gonna go to Oviedo and like east of Oviedo this is the I believe this is the Lake Nicaragua. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna be at 18,000 at Oviedo and we're gonna go to Imola between 14 and 12,000. Continue to Cape. Descending to Liberia 709. To Dotku. Then Matum. And at Matum we should be at 5,500. Okay, and then we'll get the ILS to runway 07 into Liberia. Awesome. There is friends, blue fields in sight. Nice, very nice. What a difference in the rain. About 3 days ago, 2 days ago, we stayed in San Andrés for a couple of days. We were coming from Guatemala, Toncontín International Airport to San Andrés, and we had such a bad weather. It was all rainy, and we picked up some ice even. It's fascinating. I guess it's a typical summer weather. All right, let's since we are approaching our next point, I guess to know about would be, let me show you here. It's going to be Bluefields, and then we're gonna come pretty much southwest, and it's gonna be Lake Nicaragua. This guy, fascinating. Right, we're gonna start our descent. We're gonna keep the speed below 220, 230 max. We're gonna bring the pitot heat on, which is already on. See if we can get the 80s at Liberia. And the 80s is 127,775. 77. 127,775. All right, let's see if we can get it. And let's talk about the approach. Okay, we're gonna discuss about the approach briefing. Very nice. Okay. All right, we started descending to flight level 180. And we're going to reduce the power just a little bit. About 90. That's good. right, so we know what we're gonna do in reference to the arrival. Let's see. Okay. The approach, we're gonna do the ILS runway 07. And we're gonna do the ILS runway 07 into Liberia, Costa Rica. The ADC is 127775. We're gonna be talking to approach at 19.8. The Liberia tower is 18.8. Ground 1217. The localizer is 111.3. Final approach course is 070. And we have a mandatory point at 1700, which is this one. Ardia. Okay. Very good. So we should be getting the glide slope there at Ardia at 1700. And then we can continue with our decision height, altitude of 458. Airport elevation 272. And the touchdown zone elevation is 258. We have a very interesting MSA here around the Liberia VOR. So minimum safe altitude. Okay. We have notes here. Number one, 4,000 within 8 nautical miles. So 8,000, 4,600, and 4,000 in general. So that means we're going to be surrounded by, some terrain. So it's good to know. And the missed approach, climb outbound on the radial 066 of the Liberia VOR to 4 miles. Then turn right towards Liberia VOR. Continue on the radial 266 to initiate a new procedure or be established in the holding pattern. Cross the VOR at 4,000. Okay, so that's pretty much what it is here. Right? Straight up 066, 4 miles, make a right turn, come on the 266, and then hold there. Perfect. All right, so profile view. So we're gonna get 3,000 at Coral. Okay, mandatory, and then continue descending all the way to Ardia 1700, getting the glide slope. There we're gonna have full flats and landing gear down, already configured to land all the way down to 458. And then if we don't see the runway or for whatever reason we don't feel confident about the landing, we're gonna go missed. Okay. In this case, for our airplane, our approach would be around 120 probably. So we should be at 3 degree approach. Should be around 550, 600 feet per minute, maybe a little more. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so approach briefing is complete. Navigation is set. All is already set in our MFD. And we continue descending, and we are 23,000 for 18,000. Beautiful. There we are, friends. We're essentially flying over San Jose in Nicaragua, going to Lake Nicaragua on our way to Oviedo. Nice. All right, Lake Nicaragua is also known as Lago Cocibolca. It's the largest freshwater lake in Central America. 3,191 square miles. It is famous for its hundreds of volcanic islands and unique aquatic ecosystem. Its defining features include Ometepe Island, featuring 2 volcanoes. Wow. Huh. It is also, it has oceanic wildlife, most notably bull sharks. These sharks migrate between the lake and the Caribbean Sea via the San Juan River. Fantastic. Let me show you some pictures. Images. Where is it? Right here. There it is. This is one of the pictures. Nice, huh? Interesting. It has volcanoes. See, we're probably gonna see them. Doing a nice gradual descent, very smooth, all the way down to Oviedo. We didn't get the 80s, but anyway, so let's contact Liberia approach on 1198. Liberia approach, good afternoon, WindDrift 7953. Living flight level 220, flow flight level 180. Super nice, super nice. Let's see what we have for weather. Let's see if we can get the weather here. Let's go on our MFD and we can select Liberia right there, right there. What do we have? Okay, wind 040 at 11, visibility greater than 10 miles. Okay, temperature 25, dew point 22, altimeter 2989. Okay, so 25, 22, there's a lot of moisture there, definitely. But the winds, it seems like they calmed down. We'll see, because it was supposed to be very gusty. Okay, so River Approach has already told us that we should expect the ILS runway 07. Fantastic, so let's go ahead and click on our MFD, select procedure, and select approach, and select the ILS runway 07 approach. Okay, and we're gonna do via the, let's see what we have. Cotal, I think it's Cotal initial approach fix, that's perfect. Enter, and let's enter the decision ultimate minimum is gonna be 458. 458. Very nice. And we are gonna load approach. Beautiful. So pick it up from Cotal, Ardia, runway 07. Beautiful. Excellent. It's nice to fly like this. I mean, preferably we want to have some more realism, right? It would be nice to hear like other pilots in the background listening to approach, but there is no much service. I've never seen VATSIM on in Costa Rica, for instance. It's only Europe, the United States, part of the Caribbean like Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands. South America has more activity though. Like I see lots of activity in Argentina, sometimes Colombia, in Chile. Those are the most active. I've never seen any activities in Ecuador. I don't remember seeing one in Peru. Although there was one activity, I believe, a month ago in Peru. VATSIM Peru and VATSIM Chile. They had a night, I think it was on a Saturday night. And yeah. And I remember I flew out of Cusco to Lima. It's nice. There is the lake, friends. Lake Nicaragua. Oh my God, those are the volcanoes. So nice. Look at that. So cool, eh? Beautiful. 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 All right, flight level 200 for flight level 180. We are 51 miles from Oviedo and continue descending gradually. So we have two volcanoes in this lake, and only one is active. But we didn't get the volcano ash segment for this one. Um, one is called the Concepcion volcano, and the other one is Madera's volcano, which is dormant. Which is the small one is dormant. So I would say the one on the left is dormant and the one on the right is active. It's a little rain. So we're gonna be flying over the town of Moyogalpa. There's supposed to be an airport there. So beautiful, friends. Take a look at that. This guy is 5,282 feet elevation, and it's a nearly perfect cone-shaped stratovolcano. According to the information I got, it has erupted many times in recorded history, with the most recent eruptions occurring on the 21st century. It is continuously monitored because it remains an active volcano. Fascinating. Oh, there's the airport. There is the airport, friends. So cool. Beautiful. 18,500 for 18,000. So WindDrift is a small startup charter operation. We are flying the Epic E1000. This is our first aircraft. We're using the Epic E1000 from Aerobus, and probably in the future we're gonna have our own Epic E1000 livery with the WindDrift logo. And the whole point of this project is to have fun, first of all, learn about the places we fly to or over, and just perform nice, interesting departure procedures, arrival procedures to these parts of the world that are not really so popular in the flight simulation world. I know right now there are hundreds of pilots shooting approaches into Chicago Air or Innsbruck in Europe or JFK in New York. Meanwhile, we're here having fun with our little turboprop. I've always loved turboprops. I'm not really fond of the jets. I love them, but to me, this is what I love. We're at 5 miles from Oviedo, and our next altitude constraint would be 14,000 to Imola. All right, continue to from 17,000 to 14,000. Let's review the weather one more time. Wind 080 at 23. Visibility greater than 10. Temperature 29 degrees Celsius, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Dew point 22. And altimeter 2981. Reducing our speed to 180 again. We're 3.9 miles from Imola. And then we're gonna go to Cape. It's gonna be like a right turn to Cape. Our next altitude constraint is 7,000. So we're descending to Cape, Liberia 709, and we're gonna get to Dutku at 230 knots max, between 6,000 and 7,000. So we're gonna get at 7,000, and then we're gonna pick up the ILS from Kotal, so Paxim Matum, and then we're gonna get it from Kotal, runway 07, ILS approach. Perfect. It's a very nice, soothing approach into Liberia. Right, passing 10,000, landing lights are on, altimeter 2981. Right, let's do our before landing check. Fuel selector auto switch off. We're gonna keep it on. And flaps for takeoff would be less than 180 knots. That means flaps 15. Gear down below 150 knots, and flaps 40 will be at less than 130 knots. As we discussed in our approach brief, we're gonna bring the landing gear down and full flaps when we cross Ardia at 1700. All right, before landing check is complete. Back or heading 2070, which is the final approach course for the approach. Press 6000 for 5500. Then we're gonna go to Kotal, and Kotal we should be crossing Kotal at 3000. Maintaining speed about 190 knots, reducing power. Alright, contact tower. Elevator tower, good afternoon. WindDrift 1401 on the ILS runway 07 approach. WindDrift 7953, correction. WindDrift 7953 on the ILS runway 07 approach. Right, we'll continue. Select approach. Right, 180, flaps 15. There is the wind. Alright, we're gonna use pretty much the entire runway since the first taxiway will be taxiway Charlie. So we're gonna go all the way to Charlie. We're gonna make a nice, smooth, long approach. Let me just bring my cushion up. Okay. $1,700 RDA gear down. Flaps 40. And final check. Gear check. Flaps check. Driver fully forward. Check the igniter on. Check. Pressurization check. Airspeed check. Final checklist complete. It's come a little bit faster than usual due to the wind. We have a slightly crosswind, 080, 10-degree crosswind, but it's gusty, so that's why. Anyway, I have the runway in sight, 1000. Let's manage the speed again. So wonderful. Alright, 1000, my airplane. Let's hand fly this approach, friends. Continue.
400. Minimums.
Landing.
300. 200.
Beautiful. Gonna continue rolling to taxiway Charlie. What is this one? Welcome to Liberia, Costa Rica, my friends. What a beautiful flight, beautiful approach. The descent over the volcanoes was like magnificent. Right, 1217. That's ground. Liberia ground, WindDrift 7953 out of Charlie, taxi to the FBO. Alright. Awesome. The FBO is like literally right in front of us. Just beautiful palm trees there. This is where we're going. Okay, clear left. Continue. Perfect. Brakes. Right, 1 hour and 20. 1 hour and 24. Local time 17:04. Awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and in the line, the lights are off, taxi lights are off, strobe lights are off, beacon lights are off, the nav lights are off. Right, connect the GPU, install the chucks, and open the door. Very nice. Perfect. Welcome to Liberia, friends. Now I think it's time to do our mandatory replay of our landing, which I love doing that. How beautiful is that, friends? Nice. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, friends, thank you so much for coming with us. So beautiful, beautiful, wonderful flight over the Caribbean Sea, Central America, in our beautiful Epic E1000 WindDrift 7953, San Andrés, Liberia, in Costa Rica. Beautiful, beautiful flight. Thank you so much for supporting this project, and looking forward to having you on board in our next adventure. We're gonna stay probably a day or maybe 2 days. We'll see what the company is gonna send us next, but it's wonderful. We really enjoy these flights. I think it's amazing that we can share beautiful moments together, learning and flying a turboprop all over Latin America. There it is, WindDrift 7953, just arriving from San Andrés in Colombia, bringing 4 passengers to beautiful, beautiful Guanacaste province in Costa Rica, Liberia City. From here, you take a car, and you can rent a car and drive to Santa Teresa Beach, Tamarindo Beach, have some fun, relax, drink some nice, delicious coffee, Costa Rican coffee, and just enjoy your life. Thank you, friends, for supporting our channel. We appreciate you. How wonderful is, look at this, the difference. This is what I'm saying. You see, you have probably a Boeing 737-800 there, and we're just flying a beautiful turboprop Epic E1000 GX. Nice, fast, in style. Wonderful, really wonderful.